So, good afternoon to all the participants, and a very warm welcome to our speaker for the session. I'm sorry, sir. Sir took the okay. Okay, thank you. Anyways, a very warm welcome to Apramaya sir. We thank him for honoring our request and accepting to be here on this occasion of the faculty development program, which is organized by the Department of Civil Engineering at DSATM. Uh, so I request uh, my colleague, Professor Vinayak Osur, kindly introduce today's speaker to all the participants.
Yes, thank you, Professor Girish. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Vinayak Vasur, Assistant Professor, DSATM, Civil Engineering Department. It's my privilege to introduce the session speaker, Mr. Aprameya Nagaraja, Principal Consultant, Inside Consulting Engineers, Bangalore, and Adjunct Professor for Postgraduate Program at PSIT. And Sir has pursued his master's in structural engineering from Osmania University, Hyderabad, uh, in 2009, and as a bachelor degree in civil engineering from Bangalore Institute of Technology. And Sir has got a very vast professional experience in various structural and designing companies, such as so presently Insight Consulting Engineers as a principal consultant, and as also as a Tesco Bangalore, which is located in Whitefield, Bangalore, and also ABB Limited, Pune, Bangalore, and simultaneously MS Potential CMAC Consultants, and Shapurji Pulanji Limited, Indiranagar, Bangalore, and Bharadwaj and Acharya Associates. In almost all the companies, Sir has worked as a senior civil engineer and as a managerial role, a manager and head of the civil in civil and structural engineering, as well as engineering and design manager. And Sir has conducted various training programs such as a national workshop on high-rise buildings organized by JNTU Hyderabad, and international workshop on seismic design of structures in Eurocode 8 organized by ICI New Delhi chapter, New Delhi, and national seminar on seismic design of RCC structures organized by IIT Hyderabad, and submitted articles on seismic design of high-rise buildings and ductile design of concrete structures in high seismic areas, that is for DRDO Hyderabad in the year 2010. And Sir twice awarded with the best team of the year at Tesco Bangalore, and Sir worked as a senior civil engineer for Nandi Group from February 1990 to May 2000. And Sir also as an active member in for member of Structural Engineers Forum of India and member of Institute of Engineers India, and chartered engineer awarded by Institution of Engineers India. And along with Sir has worked as a senior structural engineer manager over more than 21 plus years of experience, progressively responsible supervisor and technical design positions in the field of civil and structural engineering, projects such as the industries, malls, hotels, etc. Sir has been a part of most esteemed and challenging projects such as Palm Interchange Flyover, that is access to the Palm Island for Delucathar Overseas Limited, Dubai, and has been a part of successful team in optimized site-friendly automated rebar detailing for Dubai International Airport. So we are privileged to have you, sir, uh, as a speaker for today's session, and we are eagerly waiting for your talk. And once again, I welcome you on this session, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Vinayak sir, for introducing us to the eminent speaker. And I'm sure that we have a lot to learn from Apramaya sir. Without further delay, I hand over the stage to Apramaya sir. Sir, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Could you share your presentation, sir?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Is my screen visible?
Uh, not yet, sir. It is not visible yet. Yeah.
There is some issue. There is some issue. I'm not able to share the screen. Just hold on. I will log in again, please.
One second. Don't log out, sir. 1 minute. 1 minute. Now, can you present it? Please check, sir.
No. Just hold on, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sure, sir.
Doesn't-
No problem. Please take your time. No problem. Sir, could you tell me what is the problem that you're facing?
No, I'm not able to find the application. I want to share the application through application, but that option is not available.
As in, you have a different application, like not other
No,
than present
PPT.
PPT.
No, no, only PPT.
Sir,
PPT.
actually, when I was talking, you had shared the PPT.
Yeah, I had, and I closed it because I felt I was intervening with the screen. So I came out, and I'm not able to share the screen. Okay, anyways, just hold on, please. I'll do it. Yes, just hold on. I'm just using a Via Media to connect it. Just hold on. PowerPoint presentation. Yes, now it's available. Am I visible now? Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir. It's
Thank you.
visible and you're audible also. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can
Thank
make it
you.
full screen and you can start presenting, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hearty greetings. A very good afternoon to all the elite gathering here today. It's a privilege to address you all. Thank you, Mr. Vinayak, for an extensive intro. And thank you, DSIT, for giving me an opportunity to speak and get connected to you all. Today's topic is something related to precast as a competitive advantage in today's construction industry. Am I clearly audible? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. See, since known civil engineering to the mankind, since since we have, since man has thought of giving a logical thinking towards construction, time immemorial, there is always a trend. There is always a trend setting. Rather, there is always a thought process to improvise men, machinery, materials, and money involved in construction industry. Precast is a competitive advantage today. Precast is one of the evolutions in construction industry, which has helped to speed up the construction process from our routine practices. So, to start with, precast construction, what is it? It is an efficient and a fast means of construction. When we talk about design of precast structures, the elements, the structural elements, is nothing different from our routine reinforced concrete design. But the only effective thought which is to be put in is in its connections. So, precast concrete is produced by casting concrete in a reusable mold or by using highly advanced machinery, then cured in a controlled environment and transported to the construction site and lifted into the place. So, this is about precast construction. Whether it, how it is effective, we will see in our in further slides. See, precast elements, they are all individual elements involved in building construction, which is cast elsewhere or in the yard, transported to site and erected. So there is a lot of time advantage. Time, and also there are a lot of advantages. I will talk about it one by one. I will not crisp it down now. Precast buildings can answer majority of the arena, majority of the demand in construction. Like, it can cater for residential, industrial, mid and high-rise construction, sports blocks, car parking, open car parks, uh, office structures, and public works like bridges and so on. It can answer these kind of sectors where speedy construction is very much on demand. When we talk about precast system, to start with, say, housing, there are various elements. We can talk about all the elements involved in a building that can be done using this precast system. What it is: non-load bearing walls can be a precast. External facade system, yes, it can answer precast system. Precast technology can answer that. Non-load bearing walls, load bearing walls, gravity or lateral load bearings, yes, possible. Flooring systems, yes. Hollow core slabs, there are plank slabs, there are many other slabs. All of this can answer this precast system. Through this precast system, all these demands can be answered. So, in what way is precast a smart way to build? So we have got various forms of precast elements, various, you can see that readout, you can see my display. See, precast panels, solid panels, plank slabs, half forms, it is called as half slabs or some, half beams, something like that. Slip formers, T-beams, extruded hollow core slabs, slip former hollow core slabs. Aquatop panels is, again, it's quite old in India, but yes, all these are precast elements. Precast solid panels, either it can be used as horizontal or vertical elements. Hollow core slabs is usually for flooring system. When we talk about advantages of precast concrete, why it is there with us, it is speed, it is very fast, It let us see the numbers associated with this, but as of now, it can involve very low manpower. It is reasonably cost effective when there are a lot of repetitions. Usually, it is effective and cost saving when there are volumes in construction. No plastering in the sense, usually since it is factory controlled, there can be form finish. It is durable because it is developed in a controlled environment. And practically any architectural designs can be accommodated with precast. It is eco-friendly as well. Wastages are minimized rather in precast construction, since it is most likely factory made or yard made. So when we talk about numbers, okay, it is economical, faster. If we can give an average number to it, it is almost twice faster than our conventional construction system when we involve precast system. It is, since there are like the labor involvement, since there are a lot of automations involved in precast system, and there are a lot of repetitions as well. So the labor involvement is on an average, it is seemed like it can cut down the labor involvement 3 times. So in 5 years payback, that is the capex, capital expenditure on the machinery and all the molds required to cast the elements of geometries, various geometries. Usually 5 years it can give back. The capital expenditures can be it's a payback period. 5 years is a payback period for all the capital expenditure, capex. Raw materials, 25% less of raw materials, in the sense it also includes the savings in wastages, like the wastages are minimized, and the molds are already regularized, the wastages are minimized. So all in all, it is expected like there will be around 25% of less consumption of raw material. 25% less means 75% of our conventional consumption is can be attributed to precast technology. Now, like when we talk about life of uh, precast construction, a building which is a precast building, completely a precast attributed building, we can say it can have more life than our conventional constructed buildings. Usually it is 100 years plus. We talk about 50 years, but the surveys have seen that it has sustained, it has survived for longer than what it was designed for. Over 5,000 repetitions is possible with precast casting molds, so that is a very huge advantage. You can see like most of the architectural purposes, architectural advisors, this precast technology can uh, cater for. See, student housing, 6-story building of 500 student housing capacity, 85,000 square feet, structure built in 2 months. In our conventional construction system, this wouldn't be possible. When we talk about, say, this is again a hotel in Chennai, project size is around 3 lakh square feet, built up area, 14-storied building, 2 basements, 60-meter height, precast columns and beams, precast hollow core slabs, precast lift core shaft, staircases, retaining wall. Project finished in 11 months. It's remarkable. When we talk about precast elements, how it is assembled at site, how it is erected, we can see certain discrete photo snaps like columns erected with corbels in place. You can see them. This is TVS Motors factory Hosur. Here, project size is over 1 lakh square feet. It is constructed and completed in 90 days. Span is 9 meter. It's 10-meter span. The flooring system is made by hollow core slabs, 200 thick, precast columns and precast beams. This was designed while I was in CIMAC. With precast, there are a lot of architectural applications. Precast can make it more beautiful. How it is, we can see there are a lot of textured panels available. The precast technology can also accommodate these kind of textures, which adds to the beauty. See textures on precast panels. They are more inviting in the sense there is a good architectural appeal once it is used. Now, precast members, okay, they are manufactured in the yard or in the factory very well. But to put it in place, to keep it in the place where it is supposed to,
Sir,
it has to be transported. Yes.
sorry to disturb you.
Yes.
Sir, ನಿಮ್ದು slides change ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. The slides are not changing. Full screen ಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಸರ್.
Full screen ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ ನಾನು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
There are many. Which
you are still in the first
which
slide. First slide ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I'm scrolling it down. I have.
And now it is visible. Yeah. ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ.
One second.
ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಿ.
So what can you read? Can you please read out the screen?
It is not going to full screen mode.
No, I have made it into a full screen mode.
But ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ ತರ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. We are not able to see the.
No, I have presented the screen. I don't know why. Just hold on, please.
ಸರ್ ಆ ವ್ಯೂಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸರ್, ವ್ಯೂ ಆಪ್ಷನ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯೂ ನಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್ ನಾನು. See, it is there. You are sharing the window. It is very well there. You are seeing the screen now.
Yeah,
With all the your screen. Now I will stop sharing and share again.
Yeah, better we try that, sir.
Yes. Now, am I seen? Is the screen visible?
Screen is, yes sir, screen is visible.
Now, if I now.
No sir, ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
No. I have my bandwidth completely healthy. My internet speed is very healthy. Checked it. I don't know why. Should not happen.
No, we are not. Sir,
No, yeah, this should not happen.
sir, one ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ sir. Let you not go to full screen mode. ಇಲ್ಲೇ slide ಅಲ್ಲೇ you change the slides, sir.
Okay, fine. Are you able to see this now? This screen?
Yeah, this screen we are able to see.
Yeah, that is the first sheet, first slide. What is being presented?
Correct.
Code of practice and all those things are written.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, is it now seen?
Yeah,
The
correct.
next
We are
slide?
able to see it. Yes, now we are able to see the second slide.
I'm so sorry you missed out.
No problem. Not an issue.
Okay. Okay. See, just to crisp it out, just to crisp out whatever is being spoken as of now. Precast construction as an answer to an earlier, as an answer to always consistent demand for faster and economic uh, construction. Precast was one of the evolutions in the construction industry, which has really turned around the construction scenario in the world. Now, when we talk about precast construction, it is very efficient and fast. Let us give numbers to it later. Now, it can enhance precast buildings. It can cater for residential purposes, industrial, mid-rise, high-rise, sports, car parks, offices, public works, even mixed design is possible. Like precast along with steel, uh, it is called as mixed precast. That is also possible. So it helps, it gives opportunities to answer most of the architectural demand, functional demand, and uh, and also give an advantage of speed and quality. So precast has become one of the invincible means of construction today. The screen is now changed. Can everyone see the screen changed? Okay. Now precast system, any component involved in building can be answered by precast technology, right from footings to terrace. Any component of building construction, any component of building can be a precast. Flooring system like hollow core slabs, there are many options. Like precast, smart way to build because it can answer flooring systems. A lot of options are available. Bridge decks, yes. Solid slabs for floors and also for walls, yes. All these things, all these sectors, half slabs. These are some things like the hollow core slab. Can you see my cursor moving around? Hollow core slab, half slabs here. It is half of this. So this is also it is a wonderful tool for construction industry. It can save a lot of time. Advantages of precast concrete construction: it is fast, yes. It involves low manpower, yes. Why? Because of repetitions involved, even during manufacturing. Economical, yes, only if there are volumes. If it is constructed in volumes, yes, it will prove economical. Form finishes, it will give better appearance. So plastering can be avoided. Durable buildings, quality control is achieved. Yes, it is durable. Most of the architectural demands, it can be of most of the forms in architectural demand can be answered through precast. So better design, better appearance rather. So wastages are minimized because it is always developed. These precast elements are prepared or manufactured in a controlled environment. So wastages are minimized. So, so it is eco-friendly as well. Precast, if we give numbers to it, it is almost 2 times faster than our conventional construction system. 3 times less labor involved. It is, of course, it is from a report. Almost if you talk about machinery and molds involved in manufacturing of precast elements, the capital expenditures involved, the return period of that capex, that amount, that payback period for that capex is 5 years on an average. So 25% less consumption of raw materials, 25% less consumption of raw material, yes, because it is manufactured in a controlled environment. Life of the building is improved, certainly more than our conventional construction system. Molds can be repeated over 5,000 plus repetitions is a very added advantage, even to the yard. Finally, it proves very economical. Of course, yes, rider is when there are volumes in construction. certain snapshots of precast structures in India, which has happened earlier. It is just to give us a glimpse of what is the advantage this precast technology can bring in. Student housing, uh, this building, 6-story building of capacity of 500 students, was 85,000 square feet, built in just 2 months. If we compare it with our conventional construction system, it is wonderful. Look, this is one of the advantage. Faster, yes. Quality, yes. Looks, yes. This is one more hotel in Chennai, 3 lakh square feet built up area, 14-story building, hollow core slabs for floor, precast hollow core slabs, precast columns and beams involved, precast lift core, shaft, precast staircase, retaining walls. It is it is finished in 11 months. It's one more testimony. A general glimpse of how does a column along with corbels look like. Corbel, it will receive horizontal members, beams or slab. This is how it looks when it is. This is in progress site. This is the snapshot taken when the site is in progress. This TVS Motors factory, Hosur, Tamil Nadu, it was completed. This building was completed in 90 days. Spans, 10-meter spans. Floor is of hollow core slab. It is pre-stressed hollow core slab, 200 mm thick. Precast columns, pre-stressed beams involved. 90 days. Uh, this is about speed. If we talk about appearances, what charm it can give, what architectural features it can accommodate, we can think of having textured panels like this, giving a better appearance, answering some of the demands from the architectural purview. Textures on precast panels, they are very inviting, very beautiful to see. Not only manufacturing, now precast industry, when we talk about building construction, it is not only the matter of manufacturing the structural elements to quality. One more very predominant thing which we have, which a designer or an executing engineer should see, is how to port it, how to transport it to the site, and place this geometry where it is intended to go. Handling precast units is again, it relates to the design as well, and construction. How to during construction, we know how to avoid damages to the precast structures, unless until it is when it has reached the place where it has to go, and it has to perform its duty. So in due course of time, it should not get damaged. A lot of precautions. So handling stresses should be taken up while designs. Uh, Putting it in place, you can see certain photos, certain snapshots, lifting a precast unit and erecting at heights, hoisting it to heights. Horizontal elements, it is now placed in lifting a precast staircase and keeping it. You can see that this photo, what is taken. This is the column, it's a 30-ton precast column lifted. It is called an eye, lifting pin. There is an eye. You can see that there is a jib which is hoisting it up. It has also got a corbel. This is the corbel. Column lifting arrangements, yes, cast in strands. It is done in the yard while it is casted. Sleeves, already it is embedded within the system, within the member. And I'm using these strands, using cranes, hoists, it is erected and placed on the side, outside. The eye, what we saw, I will just go to the earlier slides. Here, this lifting pin, what we are talking about, this detail is shown below. Here, this is the one. Here. Typical details of casting strands for column liftings, yes, which we saw in full. It is a part view. It's a part view of this view. When columns are erected, it has to be stayed in place. It has to be stable before it can receive the assemblage, the beam assemblage, and becomes stable. So it is stayed by using rakers. You can see the rakers here. It is being stabilized before it is erected. Hollow core slabs, beams, and decks. I think I have to share another file. I will do that. I will do that later. I will show you hollow core slabs, beams, and decks in a different file. Precast concrete in mixed construction. How does it look like? See here, it's a mixed construction using precast concrete and timber. Columns, precast. The floors is the roofing system comprises of that timber sections and roof. Recently, I was involved in one project in Iraq. Iraq with it was a building for public affairs in Iraq, Ministry of Human Affairs, Iraq. There, the facade system was made with foam concrete facade system. That was just to minimize. It was around, I think it was a 75-story building, just a 75-story building. There, using wind tunnel inferences, we had to finalize the sections, design the facade for that building. That is again a precast, again, if I talk about. Now see mixed construction using precast concrete and timber, both indigenous materials to be local in the construction, to the local construction industry. Norway, yes. It looks very, very charming, beautiful. This mixed construction is also possible with precast. Mixed precast concrete and structural steel works. Precast concrete floors and brick pillars from both the structural elements and architectural facade. The statement is its appearance. See other materials that can be integrated with precast concrete, that is structural steelwork and timber roofs on precast frames, precast floors into steel and concrete beams and masonry walls, profiled metal decking on precast beams, precast frames into cast in situ foundations and retaining walls, so on. Precast frames stabilized by masonry walls, steel bracing, that is also possible. Precast cladding in steel or cast in situ frames and otherwise. Glass curtain walling, stone cladding, metal sheeting into precast concrete frames, that is also being tried. Steel and timber glazing, all features one of the buildings in Finland, standing tall. That is about precast. No, that is about the mixed part of precast technology. When we talk about precast buildings, not only the members which are designed earlier, the basic necessity is to also think on how effectively the connections are designed. The design and construction of joints and connections is the most important consideration in precast concrete structures. Yes, they are. Their purpose is to transmit forces, that is all known. All of us know about it, that connections are intended to transfer forces between structural members and or provide stability or robustness. In a single connection, there can be several load transmitting joints. Means here we need to know why, like, difference between a joint and a connection. And so it is first necessary that we have to distinguish them. A joint is that takes place at the interface between two or more structural elements. There is a small typographic error here. A joint, it is the place, it is the interface between two or more structural elements. So connection is, that is, uh, under the action of forces. The connection, it is the medium of transfer of forces between the member to member, from supported member to supporting member. The design of the connection is therefore a function of both the structural elements and of the joints between them. When we talk about lot of thought process happening in and around worldwide, the design of connections, they are always, they are based on fundamentals of strength of materials. In whichever country, in whatever form the connections are designed, it doesn't deviate from the fundamentals. So the economy of any precast construction is related to the number of connections in world. So when we talk about connections, the economy of connections means we have to minimize the number of connections, and it should be practicable, it should be constructible. Whatever whatever design that is being proposed should be translated to easy construction at site. That is one of the foremost thing which we have to keep in mind while designing a connection. It is just a this slide shows you an excerpt of what is that we spoke about, like a joint and a connection. One connection can have a number of joints, like a compression joint. You can see them. Basic flexural strength and stiffness is being taken care while design. Compression joint, tension and shear joints. So there can be a number of joints in a connection. Most commonly used methods of connection analysis in precast, strut and tie model. We know this, even this is applied in pile cap designs. So coupled joint for transfer of bearing forces, bending and torsional moments. Shear friction or shear wedging for transfer of shear with or without compression. Two of most commonly used methods of connection analysis. We can talk about a coupled joint, transfer of bearing forces. It is shown here. Some type of column splices, like there should be some continuity achieved. So we need to have splices in various stories of columns erected. For transfer of bearing forces and or bending or torsional moments, column to column splice, shear transmissions through shear keys. There is a process to do with this for the transfer of shear and with or without compression. Shear keys are one of the answers, which is usually followed in precast connections. Compression joints, we can see like force transfer through compression joints having an elastic modulus which is less than, this is one of the cases, less than the precast member itself. If we are using the similar material which has got same elastic modulus of that of precast member, Sometimes it can be greater as well, and sometimes the same, like the medium of splice, but that is of lesser size than that of the precast section. So this case is also encountered in practice. Compression zones. How to identify compression zones in a precast element connection? Base plate, anchor connectors. So compression zones, how to identify them? So while sizing the section B, this intersection, usually this dispersion angle is around 30 to 45 degrees. The interception of this stress zone, if we talk about right from the base plate, from the edge of base plate, it should not be 2 times B, it should not be greater than 2 times B minus BP. Somewhere precast elements should transfer forces either by bearing or by shear. So when we talk about uh, joints, the types of bearings are also important. So dry pack mortar, it is this mortar which is generally used for packing the holes created because of tie rods while construction, like walls or columns when the sizes are large. To prevent formwork from getting heaved, tie rods will leave holes in the constructed member. To fill that, dry packs are usually used. Um, so that it is the same mortar, dry pack mortar, and wet bedded mortar. We know it's our usual mortar bedding. Elastomeric, again, elastomeric bearing. It is very much. It is a general term in engineering. It's elastomeric bearing. Bars, it is steel. It is steel bearing plates. So these are all possible. Each one of these bearing types will offer bearing stresses. It will have bearing capacities, different bearing capacities, based on which the seating dimensions are arrived at in precast members. Now, when we talk, that is about bearing, and when we talk about shear joints, shear forces, it can be transferred between concrete elements by one or more of the following methods. How it is? Shear adhesion and bonding means uh, it is when cast in situ concrete is placed against precast concrete surface. Uh, it is self adhesion. It is the shear resistance because of self adhesion. Just one over the other, without any other mechanic, without any other means. The only means would be, the connective. There can be an epoxy nitro. It can be epoxy application just to retain, just to hold the old and new concrete surfaces. That is possible. Shear friction keys. We will see to that in further slides. Shear double action, mechanical devices. These are all the means through which a shear transfer can happen. See, it is just a sawtooth model uh, for to indicate the friction between surfaces, like interface between. This happens in the hybrid case of precast construction, like where we have precast construction with rebars or dowels left in place, keys left in place. Later on, when pour happens, so the shear resistance is sometimes in narrow spans. This is enough. Whenever whenever this frictional resistance is insufficient, there can be dowels inserted. Shear forces can be transferred between concrete elements by one or more of the methods like this, like shear friction, normal friction, And next is by using shear keys. Shear keys, the arrangement of shear keys also, that defines, it's, it offers various zones like high compression zone. It is just to anticipate the possible cracks and look into the possibility of where should we insert dowels, where should we give some additional assistance to take care of forces. Now, when we talk about, again, shear joints, dowel action, as I said, insertion of dowels, again at pre-calculated spacings, we can identify the failure possible. We can identify the probable zones where the cracks can happen. We can analyze the probable resistances required. We can introduce dowels at pre-calculated spacing. Shear forces can be transferred again by using mechanical devices. Mechanical devices in the sense by welding, by means of anchor bars and welding. You can see welded plate for shear resistance. This is the plan, what we are seeing. This is the plan. So this is the anchor bar. In section, it looks like this. There is a plate over which intermediate site base plate is there. On that, there is a dowel rod which is being welded here, and that is anchored into the precast element. When this is with this plate and these anchor rods are there in the system when it is manufactured. So it is preset into the member. So this, and see this plate here. So the ultimate shear capacity of welded plate joint is the least of pull-out resistance of the embedded plate. And second is the welded capacity of the holding bars to the embedded plate, or the shear capacity of the intermediate plate or the bar. So least of these three will define the capacity, the shear capacity, when mechanical devices are involved. Main cost elements are fabrication and material costs, and those rise steeply with increase in connector capacity. Here, you should avoid too many connections. Simple connections are always better. Precast designers prefer the complicated aspects of the connectors to be under the control of the factory, reducing site operations to simple doweling, bolting, or welding at site. When we talk about any major moment connections and all those things, the major fitments involved in this assemblage should happen in the yard. When it comes down to site, it should be boiled down to either simple doweling, bolting, or welding. The economic and functional success of precast concrete structure depends to a great extent on the configuration and properties of its inter-element connections. This is what I just spoke about. The strength of connections remaining after the demands of volume change, gravity loads, and dimensional or alignment corrections has to be satisfied, and it determines whether the structure will deform permanently under action of extreme wind or surface. These are all the design aspects which has to be taken care. Every one of us know about it. So ductile connections are also to be thought of when we talk about high seismic zone, high seismic risk area structures, precast structures in those zones. The statement captures the essence of precast frame design, in knowing which the effects are to be considered in design are not simply carrying out the mechanics of stress equilibrium. It's not only that, it is also about the ease in construction as well. How it is practicable, how can it be practically implemented? When we talk about precast connections, it can be categorized like this, like beam to slab connections, beam to column connections, wall to frame connections, and column splices, foundations. So there are 4 rules for a satisfactory joint design. In designing a joint, there are 4 rules which should be satisfied. Like, the components that can resist ultimate design loads in a ductile manner. The precast members can be manufactured economically and erected safely and speedily. It should be practicable. The manufacturing and site erection tolerances do not adversely affect intended structural behavior or are catered for in a worst case situation. So site erections, tolerances, um, sometimes when we talk about, cast in situ columns, but floor members, including beams and the slab component is precast, we need to take care of site tolerances as well, erection tolerances, geometry tolerances, so on. The final appearance of the joint, it should be visually satisfactory. It should also satisfy the fire criteria, the environmental exposure criteria. So sometimes few joints are protected. We will see to that in future slides. So these are all the basic 4 rules which is usually taken care, followed. Connections are, as we spoke about, it is column to foundation. Usually it is socketed. Socketed means they preset cavities while while preparing a, while manufacturing a footing. If it is footing is precast, it is brought into site with pre-sockets in place. Columns are placed into those sockets and grouted with a non-shrink grout. So it was first tried in India by Larsen and Toubro in Chennai. It is implemented, in quite some places. This is usually followed in UK construction. I was involved in a 5 lakh square feet construction, one of the buildings on malls in UK. There, most of the footings are socketed footings. Beam column connection, again, what all the possible type of category of connections, like column to column connection, it's a splice. Beam to slab connection, wall to wall connection, and wall to floor connection, staircase to slab connection. These are all possible in any building. Column to foundation, mechanical means, just a means of anchorage. One is socketed one, you can see. H is the least, it is the lateral dimension of the column, the greatest lateral dimension of the column, not the least. It is the largest lateral dimension. The socket length should be at least 1.5 times H. Like what we do in steel, in pre-engineered buildings, base plates, they are aligned. There are, base plates are, anchor bolts are already set into the columns, pedestals. Base plates are put in. Base plates are aligned along with the columns erected. It is, it is aligned and placed to facilitate non-shrink grouts later on. Lot wedges and shims are used. Same here also, the same practices are followed. Shims and wedges we do come the base plates to facilitate grouting. These, the connections in precast sections doesn't much differ from our steel structures connections. We can take a lot of guideline from steel connections to design connections in precast. This is wall panel to foundation using cleats, wall panel clips. It is called as cleats are called as wall panel clips here. It is used. This is another way of and connecting wall panel to the foundation by using studs and also couplers can be used, mechanical couplers, which is hand tightened. Like various possibilities when we talk about continuous members, like continuous beams can be continuous over the columns. Beams, it can be at a different levels. Discontinuous beams that can sit on the column or a wall at various uh, some odd levels as well. We can talk about mezzanine floors. So those connections also, that those cases do also come. Corbels, it's a very usual component. Corbels, nibs, continuous beams. You can see this continuous beams. The connection which is being displaced here, this is called as scarf connection. So here, this will economize uh, the connections like anything. It is very simple to design. Billet connection, billet connection. I will show you for those photographs later. Uh, that is another mechanical means of connecting. When we talk about beam column connection, say imagine we don't have a corbel, we don't have a bracket, we don't have a corbel. So how it is done? Precast column, even before the precast beams are erected or are kept in place, dry packs are kept in. It is just to facilitate bearing. Grouting holes, tubes are there. After these projecting reinforcement bars from lower columns are taken into the slab, taken into the precast beam. Precast column is just snugly placed on top of these uh, reinforcing bars and anchors, and that those sockets are free left in the member, which is precast column, while manufacturing it in the yard. These grout tubes, grout holes, it is filled in later by non-string grouts, usually of the same grade as that of member. Beam column connection, again, you can see beam sitting on corbels. Corbel connection, we will see this. Take a look at this. A corbel, how does any member is made to sit? Like uh, corbel will receive these members. It will have preset anchors into the corbels. Uh, Certain sockets, certain portions, box outs, it is so called. It is being left in the corbel, which will have bolt attachment getting into it. Grout holes are left later on after placing this aligning. Before even the precast members are made to sit on the corbels, uh, sometimes a bearing medium, an elastomeric medium, is it's elastomer rubber, a specialized rubber medium is kept in place. Over that, precast member will sit, and after that, all these finishes will happen. When we talk about beam column connection, this is one of the case of a hybrid precast member. We can see a lot of key reinforcement keys left in the precast member. This is to facilitate that it will receive the topping on top of topping here. This topping can be a hollow core slab, usually hollow core slab with certain topping. Topping will be poured along with the concrete. It is poured along with this part of the beam which is exposed with keys there. Rebar keys. There are some more parts which I have to share. I will just share it. I will share it in a different slide. I will stop sharing this. I will share it in a different slide. One of the precast structure in India, Vikasora, you can see. Just certain excerpts from an IC drafts. These were available. The performance, how is see the connections stable. Good detailed connections can sustain seismicity. Structural elements were intact. Joints and connections failed due to inadequate detailing in some places. This particular aspect attracts attention of researchers so that we can be very careful while designing precast connections. That means it's a warner for all of us to be very careful while designing connections. You can see like where do we need, this is column to column splice, the right hand side. You can see the grout has yielded, there is a structural crack developed. We can think of making something better, accommodating a better connection demand, better connection under these situations. These are poorly detailed connections. That's what we can see. Is the screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. Again, the same. I have just taken some excerpts here, which we have seen it in the earlier slide. Connections, column to foundation connection, wall foundation connection, beam to column connection, corbel connection, column to column connection, splice, beam to slab connection. It is like hollow core slabs to precast beams. We can see rebar keys left. Wall to foundation, wall to wall connection, and wall to base slab connection. Here there will be integrator keys, reinforcement keys for wall to wall, connecting wall to wall. Staircase to slab connection. Again, this connection will happen with these type of staircase along with the floor slab. It is connected in hybrid construction, hybrid precast construction. Only topping, it will get integrated once the topping is there, because the keys are already there within while casting this staircase component in the yard. The staircase is also precast. How does it look like? Mechanical splices, socket connections. This we have seen in the earlier slide. These are, whenever the bearing stresses are predominant, this is also a case possible wherein, you can see 12 sleeves with 60 mm of diameter is left within to facilitate grout when there is a very dense reinforcement needy, while during essentially whenever we design a section for a soft story, enormous bearing stresses do come along with shear stresses. You have to look into it and design accordingly. You can see 12 of 32 mm diameter bar, so dense. These kind of splices, the grout holes, everything is there, is done, is there. Base plate connection. You can see the snapshots. How is the column connected to the footing with a base plate? Base plate. Base plate is pre-inserted into the column. Rebars are left from the footing. It is aligned, and post that it is grouted. This we have followed in around 8 buildings in Thailand. This is one more case where wall panel is set into the foundation. Precast walls, couplers again, it's a mechanical coupler again. Studding means it is nothing but an MS rod, just like an anchor bar. J bolts, an anchor bolt, which is for walls, which is set in. These are also more possible detail. These are all the various possible connections which we have seen in the earlier slide. This is for seismic resistant connections. Half precast beam, in the sense you can see the top portion, you can see a lot of rebars running. So cast in place concrete as the top reinforcement. All this additional reinforcement arrangement to satisfy the seismic needs, it is all done there. Cast in place concrete or precast column. This can happen. These precast members can sit on either cast in place concrete or precast columns. Hooked bottom bars. It is just to maintain continuity. Continuing bars are also kept for the beams to maintain continuity. Like what we have shown, like what we do in our normal reinforced concrete continuous beams, to maintain such continuities that rigid joints, continuous reinforcement is run on top here at the beam column junction, and anchors are left to splice the columns, which can be brought in at a later stage after this top pour is finished. This we have seen. Interior joint means corbel and horizontal members. It can be a slab or a beam sitting on a corbel. This is hybrid connections. These are all the keys which are left in precast members in the yard, so it is poured later on. These are all the photo snaps. I'll show side snaps of this here. These shell beams will avoid shuttering. This itself will create formwork for running the normal reinforcement into it. It is for hybrid construct connections. This is also possible. This is trough, which is sitting on the brackets. Now, after that, along with the floor, it is, this can be a part of speed floor system as well. This can receive speed floor system as well. This is the billet connection, which I was talking about. Special, this is a beam which will have bearing plates. That bearing plate will sit on top of the bearing in the billet connection, in this billet connection. It's a mechanical connection. Representation of the forces which is anticipated onto a corbel system, corbel and at the joinery, what is anticipated, that is seen here. We need to set in a dowel. There will be a dowel action, so we need to design those dowels. Bearings we need to design. Tie rods to take care of continuity and maintaining the joint. We have to introduce tie rods. These are all one of the representations of design process. That's all. Nothing much. These are all the splices, column splices. This will be grouted, non-shrink grouted later on. These are all, as I said, columns which are in mechanical connections with footings to column. This is the grout hole. This is the grout pipe. These are all the holes left in the precast member to get into to set on top of the footings. Later on, these holes are grouted and finished. This is placed. This is the base plate with holes. This is an intermediate splice. When column is of taller height, beyond portability, beyond transportation limits, we can have a splice here like this with a shim. That shim will facilitate grouting space. Base plates on top of the pre-existing, the bottom column, which is preset. This is a second assembly which is coming and sitting on top of the previously placed column. It is aligned and kept on top of it, both and later on grouted to finish neat. This again wall panel, you can see this below where 40 is written. That is also called as a scarf connection. Slab to wall connection. Again, here usually joints, when we talk, whenever the joints, the part of the joint which is exposed outside, it is there is a component called backer rod which we use in expansion joints as well. The same component, the same part, same product is used here also. Slab and wall connection. Again, this is we can see these two ties given here, loops. These two loops, which is preset into the wall, and later on there is a rebar kept in between, and the gap between two wall panels in plan here, bottom small portion, which you see here in the slide. that is sealed with along with a backer rod. Backer rod, it is given in the back. It is backer rod will be along with the sealant here to fill this gap. This is slab and beam connection. Hollow core slabs on top of precast members, beams. A small half, it is a part precast in the sense the top keys reinforcement keys are left, which is expected to be poured along with the floor topping. These are certain representations of how rebars are detailed in junction. Here L is nothing but development length. The rebars developed into the member. Here these development lengths are calculated based on the actual stresses and bending. Slab and beam connection, one of its kind. Bearing type connection. This is bearing type connection. This is another snapshot. Just a snapshot of site activity. Wall-to-wall connection. These are all the hooks which I was showing in the earlier slides with a rebar in between. So later on, this portion is packed with an epoxy application to the earlier concrete surface. It is packed later on. Wall-to-wall connection. This is also possible. These are all grooves left earlier. It is later on with the loops, with the rebar loops. Later on, this will be grouted. Wall-to-wall connections. We can see that here, this is the power. This is the detail followed over this opening. You can see here these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These places. A slug is nothing but a sleeve. Staircase, you can see it is just like a ledge. It is sitting on top. It is sitting on top of the slab, precast slab. Topping will match the that level difference, whatever is seen. You can see the final landing is over and above the ledge, over and above the base roof slab. So that will be covered in the topping. These are all the precast staircases with cavities preset to insert rebars. No. These are all keys. These are all cleats which is used to fix the it is all floor connections. I mistook it. No, this is not the one. I have a different slide for that. This one, it is the this is supposed to get into the floor system. It is connected into the floor beam. These are all cleat angles. Applied finish to landing. This is what I was talking about earlier. The ledge will sit on top of the slab, which is already set into the precast, which is set along with the precast beams to make the flooring system. The ledge from the staircase will sit on top of this finished neat. These inserts, whatever is seen on the screen now, these inserts are for handling the precast members. This will be preset into the precast members to handle it at site, hoisting, all those things. Various forms. The open wire inserts, you can see them. These are all the names. These are all the primary inserts used. This will go into the precast member. You can see the photo snapshot below, which is used for handling purposes, which is preset into the panels. It is ready to be hoisted. Some more forms. Wall panels, which is tilted up and hoisted. Lifting loops, you can see them in operation. This is all I have now. I wanted to cover more things, but I don't feel the time is very much sufficient. Hello?
Sir, thank you, sir. Ramaya, sir, thank you so much for your presentation. It was a purely out and out technical presentation where you have given us lot of details on various connections and various precast elements. It was an excellent presentation, sir. Uh, Dear participants, sir, can we take a few questions from participants if
Please.
you have any?
Very well, sir. I'm ready.
Participants, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box so that I can read it out to sir. Conversely, you can raise your hand as well so that I can just unmute you. You can post it to sir.
No, I agree. I went on very fast, but there
No,
are a
sir.
lot of things to share.
Yeah, but the session was truly informative, sir. The uh, session was really informative. Though I'm not from a
Uh,
structures background, but the amount of knowledge that you have shared, I feel that those who have pursuing structures as their core this thing can relate to it very well. Dear participants, if you have any questions, please let us
No, I
know.
have. Yeah, I think I can take another 5 minutes. I have to share one more design tables which will give us an idea about various sizes of hollow core slabs. One point I missed out in my presentation.
Yeah, please do,
Usually
sir.
hollow core slabs, yeah, usually hollow core slabs, they are available in a thickness as small as 150 to 600 panel sizes, usually it is 1200 uh, it can go up to 2.4 meters to 4.5 meters. So that will be very, that is a size which is being followed. Uh, Usually 1200 by 4 meters, for 4.2 meters is used in the industry. I wanted to show, I will, there are, usually hollow core slabs or precast members. It is sometimes when there are a lot of repetitions, each member can be designed and that advice can go to the yard for specific manufacturing. Or otherwise, if we are choosing already available precast members in the industry, we will get a bandwidth of its capacities, like one certain member of certain length or certain size in plan can handle certain force, certain quantity, certain amount of force. You can take around 400 kg, it can take 500 kg per square meters. It will be preset, the bandwidth will be preset. So based on the demand of the structure, based on the function, based on the usage, the purpose of the structure, we can choose already available precast members. That will also save a lot of time. So for that, a catalog, a basic load capacity table will be supplied by the manufacturers. It will be a ready reckoner tool for design engineers to decide what is the section that can go, and we can order that in bulk. Thank you. This is what I had missed out.
Thank you so much, sir. Maya sir. On behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, I would like to thank you for sparing your time and being here with us and sharing your knowledge. I think we are most of us have a clear understanding of the precast techniques and the different connections that you have spoken about today. Since participants have not asked any questions, uh, uh, I think we could wind up the session for the day.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak on this. Glad, really glad. I thank you, everyone, and I convey belated wishes on Teachers' Day. Most of the teachers here are the creators of engineers, so I should respect all of you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, and kind of you. Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Dear
Thank you.
participants, thank you all for your patience listening. And the feedback form for the third day will be uploaded here as well as in the WhatsApp group. So please do fill it up. And 1 minute, I'll just.
Meet the critical unknowns. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.